the best thing that, well, she taught me a lot of things, but one of the best things she taught me is how to buy a car.
How to what?
Buy a car.
The trunk?
Oh, she knew
Get a big
I don't buy
to
a car.
buy
A car.
A car. Oh. I thought you said a cot, and I was like, what?
It was so useful.
Well, that's probably how I announced it.
The cots and buying.
She was so great. She knew she wanted to get a Cadillac, and she goes in and Grandma would call I'm in my scroungies. Remember that?
Yeah.
Her scroungies meant sweats and stuff. Grandma never had a pair of jeans, sweats, anything. She just like dressed down, whatever, her tennis shoes, and she goes, we're gonna go buy a car today. I'm gonna go buy a car. I'm like, okay. And she shows up and she's looking at all these Cadillacs, and everybody's looking at us like, they just had an extra drink at Chili's or something. They think they can buy a car. They were just blowing us off. And then finally, there was a sales guy who kind of took it serious. And I was old enough to really get what she was doing. I was like,
Chili had something to do that.
because they didn't think she had any money. Well, she had plenty of money. And then she was going back and forth. She's like, I know what the blue book is. I know what it is. I know blah, 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 blah. And I know what your commission is. And I want you to make money, but I also want to save money. So this is what we're going to do. Whoa.
She took their place.
So then later, I was a person who would negotiate for cars, and Jay trusted me on that, you know what I mean? But it was so interesting because every time I go to a car dealership, he'd say to the salesman, it was always a salesman, don't negotiate with me, negotiate with my wife. And you know what? He'd do it for about 2 minutes, and then he'd go over to Jay like that. And then he'd say, but I'd go in just like Grandma. I'd done all my research, and when I bought him the SUV, I went in, I knew everything. I came in and I said, I literally walked into the car dealership, just a little step bolder than Grandma, only because it's now a generation, like you'll be bolder than we were, and they are. And I go like this, I go, here's the price I'm willing to pay, and you will have a commission, and I will be happy with what I have. And I said, so we could spend 8 hours here, 6 hours, 5 hours, and I just want you to know I'd rather have a root canal. That's how much, and it's true. I really would. I just hate buying a car.
I need to go talk to my manager.
So guess what? It was 6.5 hours later. Guess what we left with? This price. Not a penny more, not a penny less.
Nice.
We got within $150. That was the last they're going to do. And I go, okay, honey, let's go. And Jay's like all the way out, like, it's only within 150. I go, you just keep walking. We're going to get to the
have to have your mind made
car.
up there. They always cave.
They what?
They always cave. You have to have your mind made up. What
You
you're gonna
do have to make your mind up. And here's the weird thing is what they do is they ask people, what do you want for your payment? You never tell them if you're going to pay cash or not. You don't, because this is what they'll do. They'll go, so what monthly payment are you comfortable with? And that's what they'll do, no matter what the interest rate, whatever.
They suck you in.
Grandma, so like that. So you never tell them. They'll say, da-da-da, and you'll just go, I don't know. Even if you could or couldn't pay cash, I'm deciding. So what's the best deal you can give? Yada, yada, yada. But who knew?
It's a strategy game.
It is a strategy game. Whenever there's a problem, you go the proper chain of command to the second or third person. But as you do that, you write all the notes of who you spoke to, what date, how long you were on the phone. You document all that. Then when you have that, if you're still not getting satisfaction, then you go to the absolute top. Whoever that is, the president of the company, whatever. But the first thing they're going to say is, who have you spoken to? Well, I called customer service, this, all of a sudden they'll listen. And that, if I could share that, if everybody really would get that. It really
If you
would.
get to talk to anyone now.
And I don't mean it like in a bad
Do you
way.
remember the department store?
Oh, I love it. But
Your mom spoke with.
I believe that.
No way.
You know what?
What?
I didn't know that.
I didn't even know
I
there
did
was
not. No, because this was absolutely her strategy. So what did you find?
I can't exactly remember what happened, but she actually got on the phone with the.
Went for the first
I wonder
repeat.
what the problem was. I wonder what
I
happened.
know, it was some kind of thing that didn't
She was
work
on
or-
the phone with. That's how I grew up. I was like, yes. On the phone. Okay, I'll get my mom.
It's like talking like to Macy's, like Mr. Macy.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was like it was like a huge department store.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so you thought-
I was at school a while ago, and in the math classroom, there's these erasers that are for whiteboards, and on the back of each one, they have a phone number. And one of the kids in there actually dialed the number and was expecting like a company or like someone running the department, and a guy picked up. And then he's like, "Hi, I'm Mr. So-and-so," and it was the name of the brand. And then the girl was like, "Wait, did you make the markers or the erasers?" And then he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "No way! Me and my class use your stuff. We love them." And then he's all like, "Oh, that's really sweet. No one's ever called before, and I've made millions of these." And then me and a bunch of my friends went over, and we were like, "We love your stuff, dude!" And all of us were just like thanking him, and he's like, "I love today." And then at the end, he like hung up, and we were like, "Oh, that was sweet."
You made his day.
Yeah, that's the best.
Discrimination of one is discrimination for all.